On October 27th, Ukrainian special forces released footage of what they claim is a drone strike on a Russian fuel depot in the Russian-occupied Luhansk region. It's another example of how low-cost deterrence has kept Ukraine in the fight against a supposedly more powerful opponent.
A war that should have taken 1 week is now in its soon 4th year.
Other recent examples of Ukraine's innovation with drones? Here, a grenade-firing drone in combat against Russia. But as unmanned aerial vehicle or UAV usage has become more prevalent, predictably so too have Russian incursions into NATO airspace. In September, incidents were reported in both Estonia and Germany, but it was the more than 20 Russian drones that entered Polish airspace on September 10th that saw NATO respond militarily for the first time since the war in Ukraine began.
This is how the Russians do war. They test softly a little bit, they watch for a reaction, and if the reaction is soft, then they'll keep going. They'll keep testing until they make the ultimate decision for a confrontation.
According to Fox News, more than $1 billion in military hardware scrambled, including Polish F-16s, Dutch F-35s, a Belgian Airbus tanker, and a German Patriot missile system.
We need an anti-drone system that is affordable and fit for purpose.
The drone wall initiative is timely and necessary. Because in the end, we cannot spend millions of euros or dollars on missiles to take out the drones, which are only costing a couple of $1,000s.
The drone wall is our response to the realities of modern warfare.
The drone wall is a high-end operation in development using integrated sensors, radar, and jammers to counter drones and other types of unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs. But other NATO members, including Poland and Lithuania, are also taking a much more hands-on approach to deterrence, including training children in after-school drone courses, teaching kids as young as 11 to pilot drones.
When I first start, I need to go through these boxes and finish the lab like this.
One of the key elements in the total defense of the state is a societal and civil preparedness. We develop kind of a strategy how we are preparing our citizens militarily and how we're preparing all the rest of the citizens to build the resilience of our population.
Lithuania, a small country with a population of less than 3 million people, situated in the Baltic region of Europe, is not unique in its approach. In the western Ukrainian city of Lviv, grades 10 and 11 students have been having lessons in operating first-person view or FPV drones since November of 2023. According to the Associated Press, who spent time at the schools in both Ukraine and Lithuania, the training was added 1 month after Russia added drone flying to its own curriculum. Parents think it's very appropriate, says student Anastasia Luchkovich. It's important for boys because if they're drafted into the army, then they will already have some kind of basic knowledge, and it'll be easier for them to expand their knowledge later. And for girls, it's just as important because they should also know what to do in extraordinary situations. Many of the instructors are war veterans with frontline combat experience, and while most of the programs are tailored to differing age groups, at the private school called Free and Caring, kids as young as 6 are involved. Typically, when most of us think of drones used in war, we likely think of them as offensive weapons, flown into what would be stationary or slow-moving targets. But the US military has been training in using FPV drones to take down other drones.
Over 60% of all engagements in the Ukraine-Russian war are done with FPV drones. And right now, the U.S. Army just needs to get more reps at blowing up FPV drones.
In May, the U.S. Army was training in Lithuania during Swift Response 2025, testing purpose-built, retrievable FPV drones against autonomous moving targets to improve battlefield readiness.
Not only are the operators getting a rep at aerial navigation and target identification over a 2-kilometer range, but they're also engaging static and moving targets, so it's a very dynamic situation. The training is very realistic.
A few months later, in August, Project Shank executed the Army's first ever air-to-air kill with a first-person view drone called a Sky Raider, armed with a Claymore mine. It's a much more cost-effective way of dealing with the drone threat and demonstrates how the army is learning from Ukraine in experimenting with unconventional methods, much like the European Union is with its drone war.
We have to learn a lot from Ukraine on capabilities, but even more importantly, I think, on their ecosystem of rapid innovation.
Meanwhile, the AP reports that other Baltic nations, such as Estonia, are introducing similar drone school programs as defense ministries look to bolster their own national deterrence and counter Russian drone threats.